I just want to jump into the Wayback Machine about Josh Allen, because we just get so deep into quarterback this, quarterback that, and how difficult it is to evaluate a quarterback. When did you decide we're taking Josh Allen? When did that happen for you?
Yeah, it was probably, I would say, about three weeks prior to that draft. He was the guy, and it was just at that point, Rich. We somehow backed into the playoffs that first year, and so we were at 21, and then right before free agency started, I was able to trade Cordy Glenn, and we moved up with Cincinnati. We moved up to 12. So about 3 weeks out, I was trying, from all the way down till we got it done on the clock, I was trying to figure out where I had to get get Josh, and was it going to be an option? Because obviously Cleveland had one. The Giants, I'd figured out it was no secret they weren't in love with the quarterback. So I was trying to get to 2. We couldn't get there, and then we knew the Jets were at 3. So it was just ultimately trying to figure out where we could go to land him, and luckily we got the deal done with Tampa on the clock.
So, are you? So you jumped up knowing you could get him, right? Like so as soon as you got him. Why did he stand out to you? Obviously, you probably were grinding tape on everybody at the position. Why did he jump out to you, Brandon?
Yeah, Rich, he's just, meeting him. Obviously, we saw his film, and people were pointing out inaccuracy and all that. But I'm telling you, I watched 2 years of film on this guy, and his accuracy was better than people gave him credit for when you look at what the throws that were catchable, how many plays he got out of that he was about to be sacked, that it was, it's 1st and 10, and now it's 2nd and 10, but it was about to be 2nd and 18. And catchable balls. So we just kind of created our own system for all the quarterbacks. It's hard because you're got guys that are playing in the SEC, ACC, Pac-12, and then you got, him playing in the Mountain West. And so, and then when you met Josh and he was super smart. We put him through, Brian Dable kind of, we went and visited all these guys, did privates with them, and Dable came up with a test, some material to send them out and teach them and test them when we got there. And then we taught him some more stuff. We sat in the room and Josh blew us away with how smart he was and how quickly he processed. And then his on-the-field stuff, Dable would give him, different things after the ball snap, where to throw it, all these guys. And so just through all the different processes, Rich, he was pretty strong. And, yes, he needed to clean up things, footwork, his base. He had some things all out of sorts, but the DNA everywhere we looked, super smart, hard worker, leader, fun to be around, guys will like him. All those things just told us this was the guy we wanted to take a swing on.
That's what I wanted to also ask you about, Brandon, is that, one of the things I love about him is just how normal he is. And how down-to-earth he is, and how cool he is, and how just regular people he is. I see where he is with kids. I see all that stuff, like his dream come true stuff. I'm just wondering, when you saw the tape, you saw the film, and the eye in the sky wasn't lying to you, before you met him, were you nervous saying, boy, I hope I like this guy? I mean, was that one of those?
Yeah. So it's funny. I busted his chops pretty good for a little bit because the first time I met him was in Mobile, and we had this little boardroom at this hotel that's across the street from where the players stay, and so we brought him in there. Baker was there, Mason Rudolph, there may have been one other quarterback we brought in there. We spent like 35 minutes with Josh, and we were talking to him, but we also had some film up trying to figure it out. And he was, once I got to know him through the rest of the process, he was so nervous. He wasn't unimpressive, but it was his least impressive performance. And the next time we were around him was in Laramie, and our owners, Terry and Kim, were with us. And he was just as calm and cool and collected as any of them, and he was more natural. It was like he wasn't trying to impress. And when I left Laramie, I was really fired up. It wasn't a final decision because he was the first one that we met with. But it's like when you meet your wife, you kind of you're like, man, maybe you haven't proposed to him yet, but this is the one.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.